Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rush for Hire Live. I am joined by Adam, my tiny associate in the background here. We are freshly back from Adepticon, and we had an absolute blast. So, if any of you guys were there, we hope you had fun too. Hopefully, all of you guys knew that we were there and stopped by, say hi, and check out the wares that we were peddling this year. We were set up with Badger, who we are very thankful to for letting us come set up with them. Excuse me, kind of losing my voice after the convention. Combination of yelling and con crud. So we'll see how the rest of the show goes here. We have lots of fun stuff to show and to tell about. Let me make sure that we've got all of our. Hey Mystics, yeah. Side note, technical stuff. I messaged you earlier. I saw that you just sent me something back, but I want to get you set back up as the administrator on our channel too, if you would be so kind as to do that for us as well. Let me switch over so I can actually monitor the chat here. I think is this the chat? It looks like the chat. Hopefully our feed is reasonably okay. Mystics, seeing as I see that you are there, can you tell us, is it working on your end, or is it just being weird for us trying to view it and stream it at the same time? Okay, good. Okay, sweet. So it's probably just us trying to download it and upload it at the same time. Okay, very good. So let's carry on. For those of you who are not already aware, Adepticon is probably the biggest wargaming only convention in the U.S., at least that I know of. There's plenty of other ones that are bigger that do wargaming, but Adepticon is definitely the biggest solely wargaming focused convention in the States, and we absolutely love going there because it's just an awesome place to be. Lots of great vendors and cool stuff that I wait all year long to go check out in person before I buy, and lots of awesome con specials on stuff. Not to mention getting to interact with all the gamers out there and see all of the super spiffy armies that everybody's been working on all year long, and Crystal Brush, which is the Cool Minier not sponsored painting and sculpting. They do have a sculpting part competition, so lots of really awesome, very well painted stuff through that, which I unfortunately did not get an entry in this year because I was too busy designing all kinds of crazy stuff. So Adam, what was your favorite part of the convention? What did you have most fun doing?
I only played 2 rounds, but I went into a Dreadball League in a night, and it was nice to be playing the game and not having to be teaching someone rules at the same time. So
right.
It was actually just like playing, which I hadn't really got a chance to do.
Yeah. Well, did you get to play any other games?
I didn't really. I don't think so.
No Malifaux or anything?
No.
That makes me sad.
They were doing a tournament, and the empty tables, they said during the tournament you couldn't use, so...
Okay. Let me move the microphone here. I'm watching the meter here, and it looks like it is not it's not picking your audio up very well.
Okay.
Let me set this over here. Hopefully that's not like in the way of the other camera. Sorry guys, we're just sort of trying to get this reset up again since we're using Twitch.
Pause our video preview because that might be lagging us out.
Okay. Let's see here. I think if I just keep speaking up, I think you guys can probably hear me just fine.
We got a question.
Oh, question. What do you think of the new IG models coming out? Okay, so, funny you should ask. I have an unbridled, unrelenting guard lust. So, I am really excited about a lot of these new models, and I've even got some of the new stuff to show you on the show tonight. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of those. I've got the Taurox partly assembled. you can at least see the scale of the thing. And then I've also got some of the boxes of the new Stormtroopers, which I'm excited about, but I'm also probably going to do some modifications. Because while their face masks are cool, I don't know, it bothers me a little bit. I want them to have gas masks or something, or a respirator of some kind. I just think that it would look better.
Do you have the Taurox up here?
I do. I have the Taurox. Let's just go ahead and start digging in here. I'm going to dig into what we've got to show and tell about. Taurox, and I've got this, like I said, partly assembled. But I'm a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm a little surprised, I guess, by how small it is.
So like on some of the rumors I saw, like, I know Ogryn can be transported in it, and I was hoping it would be like Ogryn scale.
Right. Let me turn up the exposure on this. There we go. Much better. So this guy right here is not particularly big. Here's a random Chaos Marine model. I mean, the thing is like just barely taller. I know it's got a bit of a turret up top, but I mean, let's where's my calipers? There they are. Let's actually get a size on this thing. Full width at its widest point, it is 71 millimeters, or 2.8 inches. And then height, all the way up to the top of the armor, but not including the turret, it is approximately 2.3 inches, 2.29 inches. And then across or front to back, I'm going to give it a little bit of fudge room because there's still a panel that goes on there. It's about 4 inches. So it's only about 4 inches long and a little over 2 inches tall. So it is a pretty small little model. Now I think that it is really gorgeously detailed. Let me crank up the gain on this a little bit more so you can see the inside. Really nicely done considering the lackluster inside of the old school Rhino. And it's got details just all over the thing. But, you know, it's a little on the small side. Some people take issue with the way it looks. Just generally, they don't like the dual track thing going on like a track truck. But I think that it's reminiscent of some of the old school World War II tanks, like the SDKF Z251s, like the von Panzerwagen and the, what was the other one? The one with the machine gun, I think it was just like a Schützenwagen or something like that. It sounds really silly, but I'm pretty sure that's actually the name of one of the models. But it's like it's just a shortened version, like they just squished it. Like it had the SDKFZs had the longer hoods and the longer beds on the back, and they were open topped, which is why this in its current state reminds me of those so much.
Someone wants to know how much it was.
I believe they are retail $45 a piece, so they're not obscenely expensive, I guess by GW standards at least. But you know, they still cost money. So having a big mess of them is going to be costly any way you cut it. The other kit that I bought that was released while we were at the con was the Tempestus Scions, or Tempestus Scions. They're still Stormtroopers. They just fancied it up with faux Latin. But let's have a quick look here. The one part that I am not super psyched about is the actual masks on these guys. I think that they just look too much. Why does this thing keep sliding down? This is obnoxious. I think that they look at that. It's like actually sliding. You see the slider like moving on its own. It's like some kind of freaky possessed thing.
Try to just hit save, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, yeah, let's...
Yeah, it is just going all the way back.
Save. Oh, no. It like went away now. Okay, anyway, I'm going to talk about these while I fix the camera. The thing that I don't like about them is the face masks. I think they look like some kind of weird Cyberman... No, you jerk! Okay, there we go. Some kind of weird Cybermen masks with their glowy green eyes. God, this camera is just like fighting me tonight. I think they should really have a respirator on. And in fact, I have purchased some secret weapon alternate heads here. And I've got a sprue already out of the bag. If I can find the thing. Doggone it. Alright, whatever. We'll just open a new one. These are... Oh, one's already popped off the sprue here. These guys are some little World War II style gas mask heads. And I think they could look pretty cool on there, especially with the already established World War II looking transports that they're running. So I think it's appropriate, and I'm not outrageously a fan of the heads that they've got here. Plus, I can save those for some other guys. I don't think that they're terrible heads. I just think that these would look cooler. Now I could take the gas canisters and actually put them onto the heads that exist, or sculpt new ones pretty easily, I think. But I kind of like these. Little bit of World War II flair there. Could just imagine them wandering around asking if everyone is their mommy. All right, so let's have a real brief look at the sprues here. I know that you guys could see all this stuff on the GW website, so I'm not going to really delve into this. This isn't like a super important thing for you, most likely. Got nice giant flag up here with all the heraldry already sculpted onto it. We've got a variety of other weapons here. We've got the hotshot volley gun, a melta, a flamer, some plasma pistols, a las pistol, a bolt pistol.
There's a lot of the command sprue stuff on it. Like
the guy
it's with his big jacket.
Yeah, and you've got a grenade launcher too. Yeah, and we got this really nice looking jacket up here for the commander. I think you could easily do some commissar conversions with those. I don't think that that's unreasonable to think that's doable. But yeah, lots of good stuff on that sprue, and then you've got the pretty generic stuff on this one, including the the legs, all the hotshot las guns, and all the chest plates and back plates and backpacks and things.
The sprue has a lot of heads on it too. There's a lot
it
of
does.
alternative stuff.
You've got a full 7 different helmeted heads. Let's have a look at these. Let me get a little closer so you guys might be able to see these guys. Okay, so let me stop moving this. You've got a few different variations here, along with some that I think are specifically intended to be the Voxcaster. And then on the flip side here, we've got 9 unhelmeted heads in berets. It's pretty cool looking. I do kind of dig this one with the goggles and the mask and the beret. I think that looks pretty spiffy. Well, yeah, and we've got, I can't remember what the little servo skull things, is it just a servo skull? Looks like it's got a little incenser.
I think that is part of the Voxcaster. Okay.
Yeah, but you can see almost like Skaven style here. You've got like the little incenser with the smoke flame stuff billowing up out of it.
I like just the diversity of the beret heads would be good to just throw in guard squads as the leader. Just normal guard.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if you bought enough of these kits, you could put those on every guardsman you had, and I think that would look way cooler than the Cadian helmeted heads, honestly. Because I mean, you have you've got 9 heads.
Short one.
Yeah, and you could throw one of these guys onto the leader of each squad, and then
still have enough heads for everything in that box.
Exactly. So I mean, you could really outfit some cool looking guardsmen with the bits from this. The next show and tell item that I want to show. We got these ahead of the actual release date. They were early release at the con. These are the Victoria miniatures Arcadian Rifles boxes. We have a couple boxes of the male and a couple boxes of the female. And for my own personal guard army, these are going to be the standard troopers for the most part, because I want my guard army to look different. I don't want it all to be the same. So just a real brief look at these. I'm not going to open them up or really show anything. You guys can check them out on the Victoria's Minis site. It's just Victorian Miniatures, but no, VictoriaMiniatures.com. And for those of you watching the video later, I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out. So we've got these. I'm trying to make sure we don't have any glare here. They're really nice looking miniatures, and they look like Cadians. I mean, it's obviously a play on the word Arcadian.
They look more like the old school original Guard than they do the Cadians.
Right. I mean, they just have a more realistic feel to them than the normal Cadians. The Cadians are just so like bubbly and chunky. But I get the sense of a little bit better proportions and scale on these guys. They feel more real, like a closer,
like the gorilla arms.
Yeah. I mean, they still have kind of cartoony features, but it's not as like hideously obvious. And this is the male squad. We also have the female squad. Same unit, same loadout, except I believe they get grenade launchers, while the male squad gets the melt-a-gun. So you don't have the option there. You kind of have to pick and choose based on which squad you want. But there's plenty of meltas and grenade launchers in your other kits, likely, that you won't have to really pick or choose or anything like that. But the one thing that I do really like about the female miniatures is that they are not grotesquely busty female miniatures. They're not scantily clad. They're in full gear.
The same gear as the
and the same gear as the men. So I think that's definitely a long needed change in attitude towards female characters in miniatures games. I know that's kind of a silly place to try and make your point when there's plenty of other equality issues out in the real world. But it's just nice to see it reflected in something that you care about. And we definitely care about miniatures. So, got those, and one more aspect for my Guard army that I'm going to be using to differentiate mine from pretty much every other Guard army out there that I'm likely to see on the table is my battle tanks. Leman Russes are great. I've owned many of them throughout the years. Owned, sold, rebought, painted, converted, all kinds of stuff. I'm going with something a little different this time. I'm actually going with the secret weapon rapid assault vehicle. And I have assembled this guy, or cleaned and assembled it. And I'm going to pull it out here. And there's a variety of weapons to choose from in here that I'm going to be magnetizing. So, this is our vehicle. It's a 6x6 assault vehicle. You've got a turret that fits down into the top couple of there, and you've got a spot here and on the front of the turret to mount a weapon in. You have the two weapons for the hull that are able to be taken on the Leman Russ. So you've got I think it's the flamer there, and you've got a machine gun, aka heavy bolter, that can also be swapped in there. So Adam, I know we've talked about this before, but what do you think of the scale on this? Do you think it's reasonable? Do you think it's too small?
Yeah.
You think it's a little small?
I like the scale. My only problem with it is when I see the battle cannon for that, it doesn't look the same as the Leman Russ. Because I always think of the big angle, or no, I guess Leman Russes aren't angled, are they? But they just have the huge battle cannon.
Yeah, they have the big one that's like the size of a pencil. Like you can put a pencil down the barrel. Yeah. But this is the battle cannon style thing here, and this is a lot more modern than the rest of the World War II feeling stuff in the army. But I can dig that just because you've got a lot of mismatched grab bag type equipment that ends up in the Imperial Guard army, in the fluff at least. One thing I will say that I noticed once I got my hands on this tank, and it's going to be really hard for you to tell in the video here, but the masters for this mold appear to have been 3D printed, which you actually have to look really close to see. But it's interesting to spot those out in the wild. I can especially notice it right here on the cupola. You can see that it's not perfectly round. It's faceted. And some of the texture on the steel plating, I can tell, was at one point the type of lined gridded system that that a 3D printer would print out. So I don't know if I would use one of these models in something that I was trying to do for a competition or a display piece. But for gaming, I think that it's definitely a cool piece. I think that they look really neat. It goes against convention when it comes to Imperial Guard 40k tanks. I just think that the 6x6 wheel configuration is probably more versatile in general than like a tank would be on, you know, whatever planet you manage to find yourself on. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a military man, so I don't know. But there are a bunch of other weapon choices. You get some different like multi-barreled autocannon type things. I guess this is some kind of like mega flamer. Yeah, there's a heavy flamer thing. Here, I'll just throw them under here real quick so you can see. I really like this one. I think that's a cool looking one. You get sort of a stumpy cannon, some flat guns. These are pretty sweet. A big like plasma gun type thing. And then you got the one that I already showed you, a pair of autocannons and this like quad thing here. I don't know. It looks a lot like the other quad gun that just sort of spread out. I don't really know what the difference is.
What configurations guard vehicles have?
Honestly, I don't remember anymore. I didn't play this current edition of Imperial Guard, so I don't know what the transition is going to be like. But that is some of the big stuff that I picked up at Adepticon. And we did also get some other things. Actually, one of the big ones here, it's sitting right in here next to my feet. I will show you real fast.
Got a question at the bottom.
Oh, fantastic. The question is, Austin, will you ever do a show about alternative models for wargaming, such as World War II tank models modded for 40k, for example? I think that would be a really fun show. I think we should do that. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. I used to be more up on what's out there from Dragon and Tamiya, and I'll have to get a little bit more reacquainted with what's out there so that we can actually do something. I've done a lot of aircraft vehicles that way, just because there's not a whole lot of wargaming aircrafts before this current edition of 40k was out. Okay, so here is the biggest big release that we managed to grab while we were at Adepticon. These are the Steinel Res airbrush primers from Badger. They're not technically Minotaur paints, but this is the same company that makes Minotaur, which is what I use almost exclusively when it comes to airbrushing. The owner of Badger, Ken, was kind enough to give us some of the pint bottles of these for us to use on our projects and in tutorial videos. We also got to test it before it even went to market, so I already know this stuff is fantastic. It sticks really well, and we're really excited to see the finished product in action. Pardon me. Whew. My voice, she goes. So, what did you learn at Adepticon? Did you learn anything that you would take going forward into future cons or future gaming events?
I'm not really sure.
We mostly just manned the booth, I guess.
Yeah. Talked to a bunch of people from
that's true.
Other internet places.
There were lots and lots of familiar faces from the computer screen.
Like the first night was cool. We went to dinner at some Italian place with like over 30 people, and it was like the mini wargaming guys, Les and Sean,
all the Blue Table Painting folks. Yeah, it was lots and lots of fun. Sat next to Sean from Blue Table, who is an absolute crazy man, and we chatted about all kinds of esoterica and business things. I always enjoy the chances I get to chat with him. He's a really high energy guy, and comes off as a little crazy sometimes, but he's always a much enjoyed feature of my wargaming trips. So continuing on with our show and tell-ness for tonight, I've got a new project that I've been working on with Dave from Mini Wargaming for their narrative campaigns, which I honestly haven't watched a whole lot of. Adam, you know more about their narrative campaigns than I do, I think.
I've seen a few of them, yeah.
And I'm sure that a lot of you guys have seen those too. The the next tables that they're going to be playing on are going to be sorry, my brain just went blank there. Are going to be Eldar and Necron themed tables, and for these tables, he's asked me to make a bunch of new terrain. The other night, I went ahead and made a couple of designs. Here is one of them. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. You guys may have seen this on Facebook or Reddit. And this is one of the Eldar designs, or Space Elves designs that we're doing, and I'm really excited about the way these are turning out. I think this is going to be very cool. It's pushing me beyond what I'm normally comfortable with the laser cutter, having to really come up with ways to engineer complex curves, or at least the idea of complex curves.
Yeah, trying to get non-blocky shapes in 3D. You can do it easily one way, but
right.
Once you start building out, it's a lot more
trying
complicated.
to get those faces to all mesh together to get you something that looks more complex than just, flat laminated stuff. Gets a little tough. And getting intricate edge designs on things where you don't have the option to actually do edges. So that was design number 1. I did a second one here. Let's check out under the close cam here. This is another Eldar design. We're trying to do all the Eldar first. We got these nice little fin shapes here, and got some quick engraving. I really like the way these feet came out. I wasn't sure how they were going to look when I cut them, but I do like the proportions and the shape of them. I think they turned out really nicely. I was considering having them offset so that you see where the fins are now, then offset in between the feet came out, but I think that it looks better this way, honestly. So yeah, I'm enjoying having the time to experiment with getting these like little vent designs, and I think there's one down in right there. Now you can see. So trying to keep it from being just a whole bunch of flat laminated things gets a little bit tricky sometimes. You just got to be creative to make it work. And we did another design on a larger one, and we are trying to do some bigger stuff. Whoa, that's like really close. This like reminds me of the Eye of Sauron over the top here. But I've left spots here where we are going to be able to put some soul stones. I've ordered some clear, like some crystal clear sort of oval round shape things that we're going to be able to put on these, and I've sized them appropriately so that they'll fit in nicely. But I really like the shape of this that kind of like swoops out a little bit on the sides there, and you get this like fluting all through it. Can I focus this better? Can that happen? There we go. That's a little better. And all these little tines at the feet down there. I'm thinking about putting it on a base, but Dave was pretty specific that he wanted them to be as base free as possible, just so that it'd sit on any piece of terrain anywhere, or any board anywhere, and it would fit in. So
unless we did a base that was maybe multi-tiered, that just looked like it was a part of the building that you wouldn't put flocking on.
Right. So there's lots of ways that we could get around that type of thing. So let's see. I feel like we should have some type of like practical design or practical like doing something.
Did you show this one?
I showed the picture of it. That is actually one of the messed up prototypes that I got halfway through putting together and realized that I had messed it up.
Do you want to share any pictures from Adepticon or anything?
I don't have them ready to do because I'm horrible and unprepared.
I was a little disappointed about the Dead Zone event at Adepticon. It was labeled as some big Dead Zone game, but it wasn't. Like, I'm not complaining I got free stuff, but...
Yeah, you're complaining. It's fine.
It was, like, they just said choose 2 models, everything rolls 3 dice, and needs a 5 up to hit, and you have unlimited range, so
You don't have any of the variation.
It was only vaguely like Dead Zone. You didn't use essentially any of the rules. It was essentially just roll dice with these models.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed. Games, it didn't show the rules really.
Right.
It's like 40k. It's like on a 6+ that guy you shot at dies with like none of the other mechanics.
Instead of wounding and saves and all that good stuff.
And stats.
Okay.
It was just really weird.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go for the gusto here. Let's go ahead and we're gonna put together one of these guys with the cool alternate heads here.
You're gonna build just normal guy or like one of the command squad guys.
Let's just do one of the normal guys because I know I'm gonna have some of those. Darn, I wish I had my clippers up here.
Think I know where they are? Do you want me to run?
If you know where they are, I think they're downstairs on one of the tables. I'm gonna, you know what? While we're sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off one of these heads here. I know this is gonna be so exciting to watch me clean this resin head. Yeah. I gotta say, it is really exciting going to conventions and getting to see a lot of the people that you interact with or watch videos from on a regular basis. And I've been talking to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted by comments here. Austin, who do you think is on the mystery sprue on the GW site? I thought it was just a commander guy. I didn't really pay that much attention. I just thought it was like a generic commander sprue. I thought that they were just doing their overhaul, which the big reveal I think everybody is hoping is that they're going to carry Forge World on the GW site, which would be super duper cool. Like I could just get rid of all the Finecast stuff.
It'd be nice if they went back to like doing like hobby articles and stuff like that periodically.
He has an iron halo. I think it's Marnius. It's possible.
See, I saw someone post a comparison to a really old model that was just a generic captain, and it like some really old model that had a bunch of skulls on his cloak, and this one has the same thing, and the pose is very similar.
So you're saying that it looks like a generic captain? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, unless that old model was Marnius Calgar.
No, it wasn't. The old Marnius Calgar was pewter. And I think he only really came in a...
Well, this one was pewter. It was like the old, like, I've got my bolter pointed, like, completely horizontal to my body.
I think there's one actually in the bathroom. I don't know why it's stored there. It's just in the closet. He's, like, guarding my towels. Okay, so let's have ourselves a looky-loo here. Let's just go ahead and clip off some legs. We know we're going to need some legs. Soldiers need legs. So I hear. And let's see here. I'm assuming that we probably...
What are you looking for?
I'm just trying to see if there's like, if these all need to match up some way.
Do you have the...
Is it instructions? I don't need no instructions. Actually, I need instructions. Let's just make sure we do this right so I don't screw up. By the way...
Oh,
there's stat lines on the back of the booklets now. I don't know if that's going to continue, because, I mean, there's a lot of things that GW does, like, one time, and they're like, nah, we're not going to do that again.
Like the weird limited edition...
piece of terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shield generator.
Like, what the heck? See, like, yeah, this is what I was looking for. The key that's like, which arms go together?
Yeah, because they're all... Especially with tubing, there's going to be specific.
All right, let's do our hunt down here. All right, we need backpack number 30. All right, let's find backpack number 30.
I'm going to search the internet to see if I can find that picture.
Prepare to hack all IPs simultaneously. All right, got the backpack. And we need short arm or right arm number 16. Number 16, there we go. Got number 16.
On the plus side, these models are really detailed with all the bits and stuff, but it's going to be kind of a pain to paint all the individual little details on the backpacks.
I think that that a smart painter would come up with a color scheme that allows for a little bit of fudge room. Some colors that
I'd like to see is the commission Justin's working on with the Necrons coming out of the swamp. Something like where they all have that kind of like camo where it's like the, I don't know, what do you call it? Where it's like the tree looking camo. Where it's like
like ghillie suits?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
sorry guys. I'm moving the camera all kinds of which ways. You know what? Let's switch the view back over to my pretty face while I do this. Because, there we go. It's like, we don't need the like 10,000 or 30,000 foot view here of the model while I'm assembling it. We can get a smidge closer. Alright, let's try not to deafen you by wailing on the camera here. Or wailing on the microphone. Okay, so there's our dudesmen. There we go, now they're in focus, much more better. And, okay, so those are all those parts. We still need chest bits. I think those are all exactly the same here. Let's grab any old chest and back, and we will see how those turn out. Because I'm not positive that this is a good idea to swap heads with the gas masks, but we'll get everything but that set up, and we'll reassess. I think those are all the critical pieces that aren't just like random little doodads here and there. Okay, so we got that. Let's get in here a little closer and actually clean up. The mold lines are actually pretty small and subdued. Another cool thing that was happening at Adepticon was I think it was just a standard Armies on Parade thing from Games Workshop, but there was some really cool stuff. There was something in a mystery box that I didn't get to look into, so any of you guys who actually went and saw it, feel free to spoil it for me, because at this point, you know, obviously I can't see it. But there's always a line like around the corner. It looked like a really cool like display in a box with all of its own like real particular lighting and stuff, which I thought would look really neat if I ever got within like 40 feet of the thing.
That really cool Tyranid hive ship.
Yeah, there was a giant flying Tyranid hive ship. Let's get this thing focused back up here. There we go, much better. That was, you know, suspended on this like umbilical cord thing that was. It looked like it was pumping biomass up to it.
I found the picture of the painted model of that limited edition GW thing.
Mm-hmm. Is
that Marius Calgar?
No. Marius Calgar is in Terminator armor.
Okay. It's available until the 4th of May with orders over 80.
4th of May? Oh, wait, no, it's... Why do I always confuse March and May? I'm like, the two M months, obviously they're the same. Yeah,
he has a, like, skull sword. Looks like a storm bolter, a power fist, and an iron halo.
Okay.
And he has Ultramarines, for what that's worth.
Of course he is. It's worth nothing. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a specific character or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't recognize it, but then again, I'm not exactly entrenched in the lore of the Ultramarines.
Apparently, it's been posted on the 40K Facebook page group. Oh, and here's the...
Wait, there's still a 40K Facebook?
It's probably a fan thing. It's,
okay.
It looks like it's this model. It's just 40K Captain.
Oh, yeah. I remember that model.
Yeah, it's like it's another one of the throwbacks to an older Space Marine model.
Yeah, just redone better and with the current style. Okay. Super schmancy. Alright. So let's
apparently it was a Games Day model.
Oh. Ah, you like that. Is this clogged? I'm not sure. No, it sounds like it's fine. Okay, so let's put our chest together.
That's all I can really find on it.
Get on there. You know, Chung was telling me the other day that a type of video that isn't really prevalent in the wargaming community that is really prevalent in the scale model builders community is assembly tutorials. And I wonder if there's a demand for that. Do you guys think that you would actually be interested in like assembly tutorials and things? Like, obviously for infantry like this, it's pretty simple. Like, you wouldn't really care about that. But for stuff like tanks or other things that have like a whole lot of parts that need to go together in a particular order, a particular way. I mean, it's like you have the assembly guide. I don't know how much help that would actually be.
Do the other wargaming or just like tank building, do those come with like how to build guides, or is it something you're supposed to just kind of figure out?
No, they come with them. I don't know. Like, I think it's just like there's a lot of skill and different ways to assemble those that like that's part of the process. It's almost like, yeah, you can paint it one way or you can paint it a different way.
I wonder if they just don't have like slots where you're just gluing things onto other things.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's apparent. I don't know.
I'm wondering in what way I should be gluing this on, because it looks like I can rotate it all kinds of crazy ways. This is going to be a pain. All right.
You're probably going to want to glue the backpack on first.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Is the gun... Yeah, the gun...
I'm actually pretty surprised at how crisp this is looking on camera right now. Like, I wonder if it's looking this crisp in the actual stream or not. Mystics, what are you asking? You mean the Tonka pickup truck? Oh, somebody else is making a comment.
Yeah. I think they're referencing the Taroks and then the Commandos.
Yeah. I don't really have as big a problem with the Taroks as a lot of people do, I think.
I think the original picture that got posted, I think a lot of people didn't like the paint scheme. As with a lot of... Like, there's a lot of GW kits that have been like, you see the pictures on the website and you're like, wow, that's horrible, but then you see anyone other than GW paint it and it actually looks good.
My back's killing me.
Same with those Centurions. Like, I thought those looked horrible, but then I've seen some people do slight conversions or just painting them differently and they looked fine.
Alright, let's do this. Bravery test time.
And like one thing about assembly videos, it would just be interesting because it's not like a generic type of video like a painting technique. It is like, this is how to assemble this specific model.
Right.
It's not going to really be, unless you're just showing like cleaning techniques.
You know what? I just realized something. The elbow goes together like one way.
Oh.
So let's get that put together first. I think that will make a difference. There's a lovely shot of my thumbs. Hope you guys enjoy it. That's glued my finger. Now I've torn apart all of the rest of it. Alright, let me just throw all the parts around my desk. And then we're fine. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put the backpack back on. Let's hold this in place. Everything's fine. We're doing just fine. Now, put a little bit of that on. Don't fight me. Don't fight it.
One thing that I liked at Adepticon was seeing all the Wrath of Kings stuff again.
Yeah.
So I was really hyped for it, like, during the Kickstarter and right after it, and then just because of time, it died down for me, but then seeing everything again and seeing the rules changes and stuff like that has gotten me excited for it again. I can't wait for that stuff to arrive.
For those of you who have watched our Wrath of Kings Technus Union Worker painting tutorial, we are hoping to do some more Wrath of Kings painting tutorials coming up here soon. We are going to be getting some more models in from them to do some cool new and different stuff. I feel like that needs to be like touched up or something in there. It's not quite perfectly aligned, but I can scrape it a little and it'll be fine.
Or even just put
a little bit of glue around it, or
just
something.
a wrap, like, I don't know, that
green stuff, or
what was it called? The shrink tubing, but you probably can't get that over there.
No, you can't now that it's like already on there. Okay, so now Let's do a quick dry fit and make sure this is going to fit on here. Da-na-na. Looks like it.
That was one mistake I made when I first got into 40K when I was like 11 or 12, is I took my Crute and I clipped everything off of the sprue and then I assembled them. So I ended up with guys whose arms didn't reach their guns and they just had like a disembodied hand on the end of their rifles, and they were pretty bad.
Alright.
Guys that were holding guns up to their face like a sniper position with a handless arm just pointing off because it didn't match up with the hand.
While I hold this for a brief moment, I'm going to let this go back up to wide shot here. I just can't get over the weird treads, says Tayton Clate. Is it supposed to be Clayton Tate? Is that the joke? Is your username a joke? Alright. Yeah, I understand. And to be honest, if I was going to do any modifications to it, I think one of the first things that I would do is I'd take the front tracks off and put wheels on instead. I think that could look really cool, and once again, also make it look even more like the old STKFZ 251s.
I also think they would look better when they're painted to really like weather and like mud and crust the bottom, so it looks like it makes sense. It looks more like an all-terrain vehicle like it's supposed to be, instead of some pristine four-treaded military vehicle.
Sure. Alright, I'm going to stick the legs down onto the base here. Real fast like. And we'll drop the...
I like the commandos because although they look 40k, they look like they would be good for like some futuristic RPG commando character or something like that. I don't think they have a bunch of Aquilas all over them. I haven't noticed, aside from like the gun.
No, there's. I mean, it's not technically an Aquila. It's the Guard logo right on the front of their gun. It's the winged skull. So then that'd be easy enough to shave off. Oh no! Get back on your base. Oh, your base. All right. Let's have a quick look. I don't want to push too hard on the top because I might break parts off.
My one worry about the resin head that you got is you might have to add some green stuff to the neck if it doesn't sit in properly.
I think it may though. All right.
That does look pretty cool.
Let me.
What's that game? Is Killzone the one I'm thinking of?
Kind of reminds me of some of that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it looks a little strange. Like, it looks kind of like some kind of weird anachronistic type thing where you've got like a mashup of sci-fi and like historical. But I'm kind of digging it. I think it looks kind of cool. I think I might keep them.
And I would also test out making little respirators to glue onto the normal heads and see what you like best.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to glue that on quite yet, but I think it looks neat. I think it's got some promise to it. Alright.
And I wonder how those heads would look on some of the Victoria minis Guard.
That's true. Yeah, that's something I hadn't even considered yet, but I don't really have time to do that quite yet. Now, the good thing is that those heads, I can get tons and tons more of those pretty quickly and cheaply. I think that 5 of them is like $6 or something like that, so about $1 a head to get those is not bad, and I think I can buy them from Miniature Market, so if you guys are interested in them, I believe they are on Miniature Market as well. I think that's actually where I got mine. But they're secret weapon, and you can get them from the secret weapon site too. Good fun. Do we have any other questions in here? If you made assembly videos, you have to include all the mistakes, gluing fingers together, etc., just for entertainment value. I think that's an absolute must. Because I frequently glue myself or to other things or to the table. Or
I had some horrible gluing mistakes when I was just getting into the game. When Lizardmen originally got their new sculpts, I was gluing a Carnosaur together and I put a bunch of glue and then I sprayed Accelerator and I was holding it and a big glob of accelerated glue dripped onto my palm and burned me really bad. I had a big blister on there for a while.
Just moving that so that you're not like hiding in the corner behind the logo.
I used way too much glue back then too. As Austin knows, I was stripping and repainting my Lizardmen, and my Slan was a metal Slan. I had used so much glue, it took a chisel to get him off of the base. off of the Planiquin.
We had to take a mini pry bar and jam it behind the slan and then hit it with a hammer repeatedly before we broke.
It broke the metal.
It broke
didn't
the
even
metal.
break the glue.
Yeah,
the glue is still on.
The glue is still intact. But yeah, we were trying to get it broken apart so that we could scrub down all the surfaces. But that was pretty awful. But we did finally get it apart, and you got it repainted in your ghostly paint scheme. So it worked out in the end. But that was probably some of the most infuriating moments of trying to fix
it had
miniatures.
Been in a tub of what was it?
Simple
purple,
green.
Yeah, or something like
It
that
was
for
one
like
of the
a
solvents.
week.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything to that glue.
Yeah.
It must have been a full bottle of Zappagat.
Like it really, one of the half-ounce bottles, I think that there was at least that much on the model in total. It was pretty heinous. Not gonna lie. So, all right, guys, only got eight people in here, which I definitely appreciate. I appreciate you guys coming to join us, and we're also on an off night because we had some technical issues on Monday. I tried to use Google Plus Hangouts because then it would just automatically be on my YouTube channel, but it just was not working. We had so many issues, just like the ones that we'd had in the previous weeks trying to use Google Plus Hangouts or Hangouts on the Air. That's what it was, and it was just a no-go. So I fell back, and we're using Twitch again, but I'm using the Brush for Hire Twitch channel now. So just be aware that we're going to do that. And then we're going to upload them to YouTube as well at the end. So you may be watching them on Twitch live or recorded or on YouTube. So we're going to try to get them in as many places as people go, so that we can preserve our shows, because at least a modicum of effort goes into producing these shows. So I'd like to keep them around and not let them just sort of fade into the ether like they do on Twitch if you leave them alone. So, yeah. So one of the biggest sellers that we had this year at Adepticon, because we actually had the opportunity to go and set up a booth with WGC and Badger. Actually, technically, I think all of us were setting up with Badger as Badger's booth. Ken was kind enough to allow us to sort of ride his coattails on that one. The biggest thing that we were selling was stencils. Thanks to Chung's cunning and business savvy, we decided to go and make a bunch of stencils and get all those designed for Adepticon this year, especially because we were setting up with Badger, known for airbrushes, and all the people who are going to be coming were already airbrush fanatics and users. So we made all kinds of stencils. This is actually one that we did not have at Adepticon, but this is the type of material that we were using. Very nice, flexible, durable polyester plastic film. And we had a whole bunch of camo patterns and some icons that were 40K themed. And they just went. It was great. In fact, I'm not sure if you guys know Terry, who is a wargame blogger over at Geek and Sundry. I'll put a link to her channel in the description as well, if you guys want to check her out. She is actually, we've sent her a bunch of stencils. We gave her some of the con. I sent her some more when we got back. She is going to be filming a tutorial on painting camo with the airbrush for vehicles this upcoming week. So in the following week, or maybe later on this week, later on next week, or the following week, look for a tutorial featuring our stencils. I'm very excited to see what she does with them. And we'll also be selling those stencils in our store as soon as we get our store retamed. We've been having some shipping issues here recently. So just trying to get that under control and get it to a point where we don't have to sort of make gross, that's the word I'm looking for here, generalizations about shipping. We don't have to lump everybody into segments. We can actually calculate based on exactly how much you bought, as opposed to just saying, well, you're in the UK, you pay $25, because that's what you'll it's probably around what it'll cost. So you're not spending more money than you need to, and we're not losing money accidentally charging too little for shipping. So anyway, thanks Mystics. For those of you watching live, Mystics just posted the link in the description. Terry is fantastic. She's got some really great videos. She is a very bubbly personality. So you like upbeat people, she's definitely somebody you want to check out. So we're getting down to our last 10 minutes here. I'm going to go ahead and give the general spiel here. And then I want to leave the last few minutes open for questions if any of you guys have some brief Q&A stuff. We are a full-service painting studio and custom laser cutting production facility. So we can, on the painting side, help you design a list for whatever playstyle you want for just about any game. We have our fingers in so very many game pots. We can acquire the models for you, assemble, paint, base, ship them to you anywhere in the world, and we've done this so many times. We're getting pretty good at it now. So just send us ideas for projects that you'd like us to work on with you. We'll get you a quote, and we can work on those for you. Just as a heads up, we are running a really short extension of a thing that we're running at the con. Through the 15th of this month, so only like 5 or 6 more, so like 5.5 days left. Through the 15th, if you guys book a commission with us, we will do 20% off of the painting service. So I know it's a little bit late on that right now. We didn't actually advertise that so very much. We just had a ton of quotes coming in, and we were just telling people who were already interested. I know it's kind of a crappy way to do that, but we were already drowning in quote requests, so just trying to get through all of those was incredible. So onto the laser cutting side of things, we have a very nice laser CNC that we use to make a lot of products, including terrain and some of these stencil products that we have recently brought to market. And we are always looking for new designs, new ideas for designs. If you are a graphic designer and you want something special cut, either out of MDF or acrylic or something, a film for stenciling, let us know. We'd be happy to work with you on just using laser cutting service. We also really specialize in doing designs. We design lots of custom pieces of terrain for people like Dave over at Mini Wargaming. Done tons of stuff you can see on our website and on Facebook. We got lots of pictures of the things that we do. So get some ideas there and let us know what you would like to see when it comes to laser cut terrain and stencils and anything else you can think of that we can throw into a laser cutting bin. So thank you guys so very much for joining us. Let's see if we have any questions here. I don't understand what that says. Mini Bothans?
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 I don't, what are you?
I think it's the race of people that died getting the Death Star plans.
Oh, God.
Bothans?
I don't know. Anyway. I feel bad now, but anyway. So, yeah. I'm stammering on now. If there aren't any questions, we started about 10 minutes early, so I'm not going to feel bad if we end a little early. I want to thank you guys again for joining us. And Mystics, get in touch with me tomorrow sometime. I want to talk to you about administering stuff with us if you have time. If not, I understand. And thank you guys again. I'm going to stop thanking you because I thank you like 5 times now. And just go ahead and sign off. Until next time, which will be at its normal time on Monday, not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday following, which will be the 21st of April. Come and join us back here at twitch.tv/brushforhire, where we'll be airing our next episode, which will feature some mystery who knows what item. I don't know yet. Thanks. And